Hi, I'm Rokita Johnson with Rokita Johnson Public Speaking, here with today's public speaking tip. When we speak, our words are not the only things that communicate our message. Our facial expressions also play a major part and are a form of communication in and of themselves. And you'd think that with human beings being capable of making over 10,000 facial expressions, we'd have no problem with this when giving a speech. But unfortunately, we're usually so focused on our words that we're not conscious of how our facial expressions come across. Today, we're going to discuss two reasons why facial expressions are very important to your speech. Number one, they add more impact to your words. Listen to how I say this sentence the first time versus the second time. A wave of happiness swept over her when the case was finally solved. But moments later, happiness turned to shock and sadness when the true thief confessed. Now listen and observe my face when I say the same sentence a second time. A wave of happiness swept over her when the case was finally solved. But moments later, happiness turned to shock and sadness when the true thief confessed. Subtle differences in the face, but they can make a major impact on your speech. And the audience will have a stronger emotional reaction when your words are coupled with the appropriate facial expressions. Number two, facial expressions can add to your trustworthiness as a speaker. Now, a few moments ago, you heard me mention words being coupled with the right facial expressions. In other words, your facial expressions need to be consistent or congruent with the information you are communicating. If not, the audience may not believe what you're saying. Here's an example. If I was talking about a painful injury I had experienced, but I was smiling the entire time, the audience would question whether I was telling the truth about this. At the very least, they would be confused, and you never want the audience to be confused. Your face needs to correctly express whatever your mouth is saying. One way that you can become more conscious of how your facial expressions come across is to really observe your face during a video recording of your speech. Watch your expressions. Do your expressions evoke any of the 7 most recognizable emotions? Anger, fear, sadness, happiness, surprise, contempt, disgust. It's not about being an actor during your speech. You still want to come across as natural. It's just about being more conscious of using facial expressions when you are talking to an audience. Always keep in mind that your face, in addition to your words, tell your message. I'm Rokita Johnson, and this is today's public speaking tip.